All right, I have Joseph Holmes back on the show now, who fights next on October the 29th at UFC Fight Night 213 when he meets Jun Yong Park. Joseph, how are you?
I'm doing great, brother. Just on the road. It's a
All
road day
right.
for me.
Always great having you on the show, man, and excited to see you back in the octagon. But I do understand since we last spoke, you've had some exciting things happen in your personal life. So congratulations on the engagement. How has life been?
Well, it's been awesome, man. Busy, but awesome. Yeah, I just proposed to my girlfriend in Hawaii a few months back, and life's been great since. We've been planning a wedding and stuff. So I'm just looking forward to getting back to work. And we have been traveling to Kansas City the last 4 or 5 weeks, and then we have 2 more weeks to go. So things are going to kind of clear up for me here soon, but just trying to put in all the work I need to put in.
How was Hawaii? And was the proposal, was it planned or was it impromptu?
Hawaii was great. It was initially planned, but then our helicopter ride got canceled because I wanted to do it then, like when we got to the top of the mountain. So it kind of became a small impromptu type deal, but it worked out awesome. We were at a luau, and I kind of got the luau manager or whatever they're called on board to help me out with it. So yeah, it was phenomenal. It was a lot of fun.
Are you planning a specific time frame for the wedding, and how is that going to work when you're getting ready for a fight? Because I'm sure you don't want to have like any bumps or bruises for the wedding pictures and whatnot.
Hey man, it's part of my life. If I got some bumps and bruises, she should understand. Everybody will understand. But we're kind of shooting for next fall because we live in Texas and the weather in Texas is terrible. So we're trying to, because she wants it outdoors. So we're looking at next fall, sometime from like September to November, something like that.
Yeah, that's perfect. I just got married last October, and fall's the perfect time of year. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's the perfect
Yeah,
temperature.
especially in Texas.
Very good. Well, I wanted to ask you too something. I was looking at your Instagram, man, and I was rolling at something that you and Kevin Kroom posted, that the sluttiest thing that a guy can do is have a mustache. How did that come about? Because I thought it was hysterical.
It was not planned. I seen he had posted it, and I had been seeing him at training. He was preparing for a fight as well. He fights this weekend, actually. Good luck, Kevin. But yeah, I just seen he posted it. He's been rocking the real bushy. He kind of reminds me of like a 90s or 80s like police officer, the type of mustache he has, like a real bushy thing on his face. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, that's interesting. And then we were in the car, me and my girl, and I was like, shit, let me remix that. And because my mustache was actually looking okay at the time too. So hell yeah, I was like, let me remix this.
What kind of a person do you need to be, or like what kind of a look do you have to pull off a good mustache? Because I don't think I could do it. I think I'd look silly, but you rock it well, man.
I actually think you'd look pretty fly with a mustache. Not gonna lie, I could picture you with a mustache, and I think it's just confidence, dude. I think you just gotta just do it and stick with it, and eventually it'll pull itself off.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried to grow out a beard, and I look like a homeless person. Like it's just all patchy and it doesn't grow in, and it's like blonde and brown. So I don't know. I try and keep the goatee thing going on, and I feel like that's what I look best with.
I'd be willing to bet money you'd look fly with the mustache,
Okay. Maybe one of these
especially if you
times.
twirled it. I think you'd be all right.
Okay. I might have to try that sometime. And next time we do an interview, maybe I'll try and twirl it up so I can get on par with you. But let's dive back to the fighting world, my friend. As far as camp goes, I saw a video. Obviously, you're getting that working with James Krause. How have things been? I know the fight is still a ways out. So how have things been in the early part of camp?
These have been great. I've been just trying to touch on the most important aspects of it, like my cardio, like my mitt work, things like that, strength and conditioning. I've been trying to hit those things. Oh, and my weight and diet. I've been just trying to hit those things early, man, so I don't have to stress here in a couple weeks. Yeah, we're about 7 weeks out still, so I've been running 4 times a week. I'm doing strength and conditioning 4 times a week. Um, Doing my traveling back to Kansas City. Camp has been very intense on my body. I've been doing 3 days for the last 4 weeks, and I still have 2 more weeks of 3 days. Just trying to get in like good spirits where I'm not like stressing a weight cut or stressing if my cardio is good enough and stuff like that. and just really trying to hit those things early. Krause has been out of town for the last 2 weeks, so trying to stay like positive about it. I've been able to like work harder on the weights and work harder with just like techniques and things like that. But now that Krause is back, the intensity is high. I kind of got his critiquing going on where he's like, working on my jab, which that's my main weapon. So we've been really trying to perfect that jab and get it to be snappy when it needs to be snappy, or hide the right hand when it needs to hide the right hand, things like that. So I've been just having a lot of fun, man, just trying to level up.
All right. And I have to imagine your relationship with Coach Krause just continues to evolve and you guys are becoming closer and closer. Can you just kind of speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, to me, it's kind of like a friendly competition between my teammates. I definitely love having Krause with me, and it makes me confident, especially just knowing he's like a fighting encyclopedia, and just basically if he says or sees something, for me, all I have to do is react to that or act on what he says he sees. And just having him with me is a complete game changer, man. It's just like with my last fight, he told me to throw the knee. I threw it immediately and it landed. That's how I take training with him every day. He says, like today, heavy sparring day. And I noticed that some guys were trying to time my jab with the leg kick. So I was, he started talking to me about that. And he's like, oh, just feint more, just feint. I started feinting and then I noticed it started working. So I just love it, man. It's so huge for me. It's so important that I get that coaching from him and make sure our relationship is in a really high positive place during the camp. So when the fight comes, things are easy. I just gotta do what I'm told and make sure I can hear them and be present in those moments.
Who do you plan on having your main sparring partners be as camp evolves?
I actually no main sparring partners. I have been trying to switch it up. I've been trying to get guys who are like shorter, guys who are wrestling heavy. Julian is not necessarily wrestling heavy, but he is a little shorter. I think he's 5'11" or something like that. My opponent's 5'10". So I've been trying to work with Julian. I've been working with Zach. Zach is super heavy-handed. He hits like a freaking Mack truck. So definitely get my rounds in with Zach Cummings and then Krause. If I can get rounds in with Krause, that's phenomenal as well. But no main sparring partners. I grab the amateur guys a lot. I grab some of our up and comers a lot, and we have some sick up and comers. Oh, Niles Bartling, he was just on The Ultimate Fighter. Super great wrestler. So definitely trying to work with him as much as I can as well.
All right. And before we dive into this specific fight here with Jun Yong Park, I wanted to get a fight pick from you this Saturday. Obviously, it's a big pay-per-view. Nate Diaz, Khamzat Chimaev is the main event. Chimaev's a massive favorite. Do you think that Diaz can pull the upset off, or do you expect Khamzat to win?
I don't think Nate's mind is in a good place to win. The energy he's giving off is that he's okay with losing, and I wouldn't put my money on him. I love him. And normally I would. My money's always on Nate. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But his mind isn't in the right place for me to feel confident in him. He doesn't really seem super confident in himself. I saw in an interview he was like, I gave up training for Khamzat, and he's just like, come beat me, And when I saw that as a fan, it kind of was just like, man, like I hate, like we get it, you're G, but like you don't have to fucking take a fight that you don't even feel like you could win. Like you had other options. Like you're making me feel bad for being a fan. Like that you're not even confident in yourself. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Khamzat's gonna win. I hate to say that, but it is what it is.
I also wanted to get your takeaway on Robert Whitaker's most recent performance. For my money, that was one of the more impressive performances at middleweight that I've seen in a while because of how dangerous Marvin Vettori is. What was your takeaway from that win?
Marvin is not dangerous at all. That guy's ass cheeks. Robert should have put him out. I was actually disappointed in that performance just because Marvin is terrible. He's probably one of the worst middleweights I've seen. I don't know how he got such a high ranking, but no, I was actually disappointed with that fight. I'd much rather talk about Tai Tuivasa and Gang because that was awesome. I was not expecting Cyril to put him away, and I was heavy Tai, and it was just really awesome to see a guy like Cyril who's really footwork heavy. He moves around a lot. and not really looking for that crack shot to really put Tai Tuivasa out. So that was impressive to me.
Yeah, that fight was insane. Do you feel like Gon eventually is going to be the champion?
I can see it. I mean, not if Francis Ngannou is up there, but I can see it if it goes to someone else. I don't know if he could beat Jan if Jan ends up getting the title back or anything. But no, that's heavyweight. Yeah, I don't see him beating Francis, but I can see Cyril Gane winning the championship. But it just depends on who he fights. I don't see him beating John Jones if he ends up going up there. But I could see him beating Stipe. I don't see him beating Francis.
Okay. Well, to one other question about your division before we get back to your upcoming opponent here. It sounds like what you said about Marvin Vettori, like you don't feel like he's very good, apparently. Do you feel like you'd get him out of there? Like, what would happen if you end up fighting him?
Fight Marvin? I would definitely take him out. I would definitely. He just stands around too much. He's kind of just like, he's just like a punching bag. Sorry, there's something in the road. We both reacted to it. But no, I would take Marvin out easily. Like, he does not seem very good. He comes forward, but to me he looks like a street fighter. Like, the way he's like all low, and then he doesn't swing very much. He's just kind of like stationary. I don't know. I don't like him at all. I don't like his style. I don't like him at all. I got a problem with him. He's probably a good guy. He's just, his fighting style, I don't like it at all. And I'm saying that as I'm a fan of the sport. So when I watch these fights, I'm like, I have something I'm looking for in each fighter, like as far as entertainment, an entertainment standpoint. So I don't think Marvin Vettori is good at all.
Okay. Well, sign me up. 2023, Joseph Holmes, Marvin Vettori. I would love to see that matchup. Hopefully the UFC catches wind of this and maybe makes it. I know that would spring you right into the mix as far as the title picture goes. But first and foremost, you have a fight on October the 29th. Jun Yong Park, he's 14-5. He's got a split win most recently over Eric Anders. He's 4-2 in the UFC, so he definitely belongs here. What do you think of this matchup? How do you like it for yourself?
Not only am I excited about that number 36 spot because he's ranked 36 right now, but it's a level up for me. I need to beat him, gain his experience, and move forward. I feel like the game plan for him is going to be very straight and narrow. It's going to be very simple to understand what he needs to do to win, which could make it easier for me. But he doesn't really look scary. You know what I mean? He has a split win recently, but I think he has a good amount of decision wins and then later fight wins as well. So he's not much of a finisher. He's not super exciting. So I'm not afraid of the fight. It definitely gets me going, though. I see he does a lot of cardio and he does some swimming and soccer and stuff, which again just leads me to believe he's just trying to fight long, have a long fight. And I'm not here for a long time, baby. I'm here for a good time.
Do you think that this fight goes into the deep waters, or do you feel like you get him out of there early?
I definitely feel like you get him out there early. I'm training for deep water, so I'm running a lot and doing a lot of cardio. Excuse me. But deep waters for me is probably different than his deep water. His deep water is trying to hug me and hold me down for round after round, and mine is bunches of punches, you know what I mean, coming, and body kicks, and really just, blood everywhere, and just really getting after it. So I don't know if he can take my type of deep water, but I know I'm prepared for his type of deep water. My only two losses were the only way he could win. And after my loss to Jamie Pickett, I already learned the lessons I needed to learn. So now I just got to execute that same thing that I just executed here a few months ago, 5 months ago, actually, and just get after it. That's what I plan to do. Just get after his ass.
Can't wait to see you back in there, man. It's always must-see TV when Joseph Ugly Man Holmes fights in the UFC Octagon. Again, October the 29th. He'll be back in there at UFC Fight Night 213. As always, man, it's great talking to you. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where they can follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Of course, yeah. Thank you, Ryan. You're the shit. I always love coming on and talking to you. Your energy is through the roof, bro. I love it. And thank Ed and all those guys at Iridium Sports for getting me on with you as often as possible. I appreciate that. I got a meet and greet going on in Dallas, Texas at Outback Steakhouse to sponsor me for this fight. So if you're around the area and want to see me, get a shirt signed or something, stop by Outback Steakhouse October 4th in Mesquite. And yeah, that's about it. Appreciate my girl being awesome and much love.